Yo, what up, my tubers? We're back for some more drafting here on Magic Online, some more Vintage Cube. Back to this looking client. You'll have to deal with it. Welcome back. Hit that like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Let's jump into this pick one, pack one, where we've opened some okay cards, but nothing that jumps out to me immediately. Did a couple of mono red decks recently. Do we want to try to avoid combo again and maybe do some kind of aggressive deck, or do we want to lean into the more powerful side of things? Bribery, one of the better cards in this pack. Teferi, obviously quite good. Jace, Vryn's Prodigy, solid. Titan's decent. Sylvan Library. Maybe we do some big old green rampy stuff. Haven't done a big green ramp deck for the video, so I'm going to first pick this Sylvan Library, see if we can get some nice green things going on here. Okay. A few choices to follow up Library if we're going to force the green. That's Utopia Sprawl or Emrakul. So they've taken things like the Tooth and Nail out, but you can still get Emrakul out with, well, if you get Cradle and I guess enough creatures, that's one way to hardcast it, or you can quote-unquote cheat it into play with a Channel hardcast. Maybe that's what we do. Emrakul's pretty solid. I don't like passing a 1-mana ramp spell in green, but I do think Emrakul is one of the more fun ramp cards. Ooh, okay, this is a great start to the green ramp deck then. We're getting a third pick Fast Bond versus Upheaval. Ideally, you get both of these together. I think it's better to take the Upheaval here and try to probably wheel Fast Bond, though I don't expect it to. But that's a fun one. I mean, the Upheaval is just insane in the green deck anyways. As, yes, it is an effect that hits both players, but obviously if you have a bunch of mana dorks or other acceleration, or you have more than 6 mana on the turn that you cast it, you can like dump out your hand again. So this is a pretty nice start. We're going to snap up this Arbor Elf here over Windswept Heath. Heath is great for Library and it is a green fetch, but after getting the Upheaval, I really want to make sure I just get all the mana dorks. A lot of decks will take the fetch, but only the green deck wants the Arbor Elf, and I want to cut off the green as hard as possible at this point. So Elf there for me. Okay, well, now we'll take the Misty Rainforest. You could take the Ramunap Excavator. I don't have Strip Mine right now. I don't have Wasteland. I mean, it's good with the fetches by itself, but generally this is going to be a safer pick. Spellseeker, also a consideration. It grabs that channel we were talking about earlier, but of course you need to get the channel for that to be good, so Rainforest is beautiful. Okay, we'll take another blue-green land here. Headquarters is all right. It enters tapped, which isn't great, but it is a forest in addition to islands, so Arbor Elf can untap that. That's a good pickup. Good enough anyways. Oh, yeah. And that is the sign right there that we needed. I mean, I would like to take the Ulamog, but getting an 8th pick Primeval Titan tells me nobody else wants to do the big green things, and that, well, maybe we will wheel some of the green stuff. Fast Bond is more of like a combo card, though, so I'm not sure that's going to come back around. But if there were any other mana dorks that I passed, which I don't think that there were, maybe we could wheel them. I passed the Utopia Sprawl, that's what it was, right? Yeah. Sprawl is great with the Arbor Elf too, notably. So if we could wheel that, would lead to some pretty good scenarios. Okay, the next pack gives us either a Mindslaver or a Sword of Feast and Famine. I think Sideboard Slaver's surprisingly good versus a lot of decks here in the Vintage Cube. And don't get me wrong, Sword of Feast and Famine is going to be good if I have a bunch of mana dorks, but I think Slaver has higher sideboard benefits. Let's take that. Okay, so we wheeled the Reclaimer, but I think this was the Fast Bond pack, right? So maybe that didn't come back. Oh, no, this was the Sprawl pack. Either way, I don't think we're getting any of the other cards we wanted back, but no big deal. Endurance coming back is actually not bad, though. It's a pretty late balance. This is another fantastic sideboard card. All right, and then some last few pickups that are probably not going to matter. Sideboard Ooze is fine. We have some good graveyard hate in the sideboard, the Ooze and the Endurance. And garbage. Okay. Yeah, Thicket, maybe. Pack 2 we go. Good start. Channels high on our priority list. Mana Dorks, Cradle, Craterhoof Behemoth. Probably Natural Order, because it can still just grab the prime time already. Yes, yes, yes. So, two trains of thought here. I actually think Hoof has a decent chance of wheeling, given how late we got the prime time. But I would rather make sure I get the Hoof instead of taking the Elvish Mystic here. Ah, that's unfortunate. Given that the Sprawl didn't wheel, I'm guessing the Elvish Mystic probably doesn't wheel either. This is a tough choice, actually. What would be more unfortunate? Taking the Mystic and not getting Hoof, or taking the Hoof and not getting Mystic? I think this deck really feeds off of having the early plays, so while there isn't much of a replaceable effect for Behemoth, I think it's more likely to wheel. And I'd rather have the Dork with what I have already. That's a tough pick. Good secondary choices here. Garrick, Courser of Krufix. We have a Crucible of Worlds. There's a Sundering Titan. Sundering Titan's another solid top-end card if we wanted. I don't think we need that, though. Since we have the Sylvan Library already, I think I lean towards taking the Courser. We know the Fast Bond can't be seen anymore since it was in pack 1, so no Fast Bond Courser nonsense, but still a good choice here. And Garrick often comes back around. Caryatid now over Slime. This is just a really, really solid mana dork. It's not one that can attack, but a lot of the times you just need one of your early mana dorks to survive to do something early. And sometimes when you play like a, you know, an elf of some sort, it just gets burnt or whatever. With Caryatid, that's a lot harder to do. Toski is okay. I think of Toski as more of a sideboard card. It's kind of like another, not Leovold, what's his name? The other Trest, Edric. It's kind of like another Edric. So it's never going to be terrible in your deck. Yeah. I mean, some early mana dorks curving into Toski is fine. I'm only losing out on a Nurturing Peatland here. If there was anything else, I would take it. But I guess I'm okay taking Toski at this point. Battlesphere looks solid as another win con. Winter Orb, surprisingly decent in a deck like this because of all your mana dorks. Polychronos, okay sideboard. Do I need another top-end card, or do I want another card like Winter Orb? I think I like taking the Orb. It's just a unique effect, whereas Battlesphere is just another expensive win con. Other blue cards I'll be on the lookout for that have a chance to get passed around are like Opposition, Urza now with Winter Orb, of course. What else? There are some other, like even Draw 7s are okay when you're playing a deck like this. Because like I said, you're oftentimes dumping out your hand very quickly with mana dorks, and so a Time Twister, even though it can be a double-edged sword, is usually fine. We did see Dark Depths too, actually. But I don't have any land fetches right now. Gargareth, I'm not huge on this card in the main. I actually like it more of a sideboard card. I'm looking at Wall of Roots here, and I think that's a better choice. Eureka? Not sure we'll be playing Eureka. We can definitely play Knight of Autumn, though. This is a good sideboard card, or we can main deck it. Oh, this is a good main deck card, I should say. If you need life, great, but there more frequently, I think you're going to be blowing up an artifact or enchantment with it, and we already have the Sparas for white, so pretty easy to cast. This, again, another amazing sign. This is like the green Soul Ring of sorts, and we're getting this 8th pick in pack 2, so that gives me hope that the Craterhoof Behemoth is in fact going to wheel. Boom. We got there. All right. That on the wheel just made the deck so much better. Clutch pickup. I mean, I'm not even playing the Emrakul right now. Titan now is also a good pickup. Another colorless fatty that can replace the Emrakul. Canopy would be good too. But given that we're probably going to end up cutting the Emrakul, I think Titan replaces it. Filler. Good, 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 good. So we're gonna run like 1 plains, and then a couple islands, and then just be super heavy green, green, green. Argoth is really bad. And we already saw Titania go around, but I guess we'll cut it off since it's a green land. Anything in my sideboard? So I could be running the Endurance in the main if we want to. There's a Polychronos, that's decent. 4 mana, 5/5, sure. Just a big beater. So Cradle would be a good pickup if we could get that in pack 3. Natural Order would be great for either Titan or Hoof. Opposition, like I said. A couple more fixing lands, but I think this deck's looking great. There's the Cradle, okay. Again, I wonder, because of how open green is, if I can just wheel this instead. It's one of those cards that if I don't get it, it's really bad. But it would be insane to take Time Spiral here and wheel the Cradle. But I guess, no. I guess the plan here is to take the Cradle as the safe pick and just wheel the Finale of Devastation, which is another pretty solid one in our deck. Yeah, that's got to be a safer play. Okay. Make sure we get the Cradle. And now we take the very easy Nissa over Ancient Tomb, over Sakura Tribe Elder. Could also consider Golos, having gotten the Cradle. For sure. But Nissa is just way too good. Yeah. Zagoth Triome can splash Minskin Boo. How does Zagoth look here? This is blue-green. I don't want too many of these tap lands is the issue. Do I have any fixing for Minskin Boo? Currently not. Oh, I guess I have the Thicket in my sideboard, which we can play in the main for our Night of Autumn. Let's see, we have Ignoble Hierarch that adds red, Caryatid adds red. Sure, I mean, I'm not losing much here, so might as well take it. Garruk versus Augur. Augur, surprisingly decent here, as the Coven ability of letting me play creatures off the top doesn't seem too bad. We have a lot of 1-power creatures, a couple 2s, and then we have some other creatures to help enable the Coven. Do that over Sphinx, Llanowar Elf, yes, yes, yes. Good. A lot of the nicest of 1-drops here. We're going to end up running like 15, 16 land tops with this deck. With the addition of more colors, though, I will say the Sundering Titan gets a little more awkward. Actually, yeah, with lands like this, Titan becomes a lot worse, I guess. It might even be possible that we don't need Sundering Titan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 mana dorks that come down on turn 1 or 2. This deck is just missing like a Mox Emerald for some crazies. Yeah, if I had to choose, I'd probably cut the Night of Autumn and just keep the Upheaval and Minskin Boo. There's opposition too. Yeah. Definitely got to... Okay, so if I don't get some red fixing, I might actually just cut the Minskin Boo and play it extremely safe. Because the 2 blue cards we have are just way too good for this type of deck. But if you look at our mana requirements, both of the blue cards being double blue, I think leans us towards not splashing another color. Unless I randomly get like a Stomping Ground 7th or 8th pick. Because we're on 7th pick here, and there's the Natural Order. Wonderful. I didn't get any of the creatures that make a bunch of tokens. Right, I'm passing the Hornet Queen here. I passed on the Mirror Battlesphere. But we have so many cheap creatures anyways, and Nissa can make a bunch of creatures for Hoof, so... This is just your classic, pretty nice green beater deck. Okay, no, that replaces Sundering Titan, because now with the Natural Order, we can tutor for Terraston as a secondary target. That's very... well, third target even. Primetime, Crater of Behemoth, and Terraston are all good Natural Order hits. There's Taiga on the wheel. I didn't even note that in the finale pack, actually. Okay, and with that we can play Minskin Boo. Better than finale, I think. Finale was really good, don't get me wrong. Finale was fantastic, but I mean, Minsc and Boo is Minsc and Boo. I'm a couple playables short, so Endurance probably gets in. I don't think we want Sundering, Mindslaver. Definitely don't want Huntmaster, no Rabble. Ooze is like okay. I guess Reclaimer can grab Cradle, which might make it worth it by itself. Last few pickups here. We just need one more playable, and it ain't Birthing Pod. We have a lack of 5 drops for starters. We don't have a 7 for prime time. Yep. Pod is one of those cards that is really good generally, but in Vintage Cube it actually kind of bad. Can we get one more playable so I don't have to throw in the Ooze? But I mean, even throwing the Ooze in the main deck doesn't... It's not like it makes our deck bad or something. It's just... I think of this card as more of a sideboard card. Maybe we'll play against Reanimator round 1 and we'll have both Endurance and Scavenging Ooze in our hand. Raging Ravine for extra fixing on Minsc and Boo, sure. I like how we ended up randomly getting more fixing for red than we do for the blue. Oh well. Knight of the Reliquary also pretty solid there. Knight of the Reliquary and Knight of Autumn. And we have green-white fixing. Man, the blue is just so strong though. This hurts. Oh well, is what it is. I hate this. Hate that we're gonna add so many islands to our deck. But I think the opposition and upheaval are worth it. Maybe I'll come to my senses, I don't know. We'll see. But for now, this is what we're gonna roll with. Okay, here we go for round 1 of this Vintage Cuberino with this big green rampy deck. On the play, this hand looks pretty bad to me. Yeah, this looks pretty bad. I mean, it's keepable, but it ain't very exciting. It's hard to mulligan a hand, though, with a turn 1 mana dork or whatever. Hopefully we can draw some good action off the top. Turn 1 top from the opponent, sure. Well, that is a good one. Okay. We might be using the Reclaimer to find some lands then. Some blue sources specifically. Rakdos Signet, that's fine. So we can go Hierarch, Polychronos. And then now we need to start looking for blue sources. It's too bad this is not Noble Hierarch. That would be much better here. And if the opponent has a Wrath, we kind of just lose. Infernal Grasp on Polychronos is okay, though. Suspicious Stowaway, sure. Attack for 2 Exalted, say go. Kind of sucks I don't get to cast a spell here, which means goes from day to night, and they get to just draw free cards. Also, this puts the land on the battlefield tapped, so I can't even use it next turn. And then cast one of these blue spells, unless I draw a blue source off the top. What is this? Leovold. That's really good versus opposition. So we're going to hope for an upheaval here. They might as well spin their top while they're at it with one floating. Yep. They're going to draw immediately? Oh, I guess they don't want their top anymore. Interesting. Sure. So I guess we get Misty Rainforest here. Yeah, and then hope we draw another untapped blue source. Beautiful. Okay. So, what does this read? It's on 3 or more land cards. The bad news is I have to play the land first before I upheaval, but we get to play out a bunch of mana dorks, right? So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we get to play the upheaval. And then play out all of our mana dorks again. So, seems pretty good. Sets them back pretty far, and then our next play is going to be opposition in 2 turns. So that's what I'm talking about. A deck like this really utilizes a card like Upheaval extremely well. Wow, that's insane, actually. Okay, I guess we're going to go Nissa here instead. And attack with the Cradle for 4. And now the Cradle actually taps for 4 mana. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, right. 4 mana. Because it itself is a creature. That's kind of funny. All right, not bad. Opposition, upheaval, combo of dreams. What did we see from the opponent? I guess we don't really have much of a sideboard except for maybe Knight of Autumn. Sundering Titan didn't look too bad versus them, but I think we're okay just to run it back. Resubmit. Don't mind me. The double blue cards, again, are hard to cast, but the power level, as you could see in that game there, was definitely worthwhile. Plus, how many mana dorks do we have that can produce blue? We have the Caryatid, and I think one other. Speaking of... yeah, I'm going to keep this hand, but we need to find any, well, anything to do with the mana. Because turn 1 Hierarch, turn 2 Caryatid is fantastic. But then where do we go from there? Speaking of... ah, that's where we go from here. A Minsk and Boo, okay. Turn 3 Minsk and Boo seems quite good. Turn 3 Oko also seems quite good. I don't think they're going to elk one of my... I don't think they're going to elk the Hierarch, but I guess they might. Good news for us is that we do have another red source already in Caryatid. Oh, they did. Okay. That was very surprising, because now what we get to do is... I guess we want to grab Taiga with this. So we have double blue off Caryatid, and that lets us activate the Ravine better. Now they're going to have to chump with their Caryatid if they want to keep their Oko alive. And they can't, if they do chump, they can't animate the top and kill Minsk and Boo either. So either way, we're sitting pretty happy. All right, looks like they're going to let the Oko die. Almost would rather have seen them chump with Caryatid, because then our Winter Orb would be a lot better here, but obviously we're still in pretty good shape. I might actually, if we draw like a land next turn or another mana dork, I might sacrifice Minsk, Boo, and just draw 4 cards. Treachery, Minsk, and Boo. Okay. Untap 4 lands. Into a Signet, 1 card left in hand. Yeah, we're still looking good. 2 Boos on the battlefield. We did, in fact, just draw another random mana dork, too. Yeah, I think we like attacking. I don't know. I was debating whether or not I wanted to attack with an Ignoble Hierarch too. But I kind of want to block so that we can sacrifice Boo and, like I said, draw a bunch of cards. So we need to keep the loyalty. At least 2 here. End of turn draw, so they have something to cast instant speed. Wait, what? Storm? A Storm card? Because they were just going to draw that card anyways. Alright, last card in hand. Kill the Hierarch. Alright, that's fine. So with no cards in their hand, I like just going chump here. Or rather, just chump. Preserve 4 loyalty on Minsk and Boo. Then we can... Oh man, there's a ton of good plays I can make here, actually. But yeah, I think I like attacking with just Boo. And then throwing Boo at their Boo and drawing 4 instead of going for aggro. I could just made this a 7/7. There was nothing wrong with that. Because I could have actually attacked with Ravine too. Yeah, maybe this was just worse than going super aggro, trying to get too much card value, but I mean... This is pretty good still. So we can go grab an island and Cradle. Keep the Sparrows in the deck so we can draw it and cycle it. Tutor? Yeah. Doesn't make sense to keep drawing if you're not going to do anything with it. All right. Easy enough. Nice little 1-0 start. Let's go to round number 2. Okay, here we are for round number 2 of this vintage cube. Sitting on the draw with a pretty nice looking hand. Turn 1 Llanowar Elf, turn 2 Wall of Roots plus Sylvan Library is our current game plan here. Blue-black land. If they're playing Reanimator, we have the way to kind of get them. Oh, Esper. Esper. All right. So Wall of Roots. If they have a counter, we can still play Arbor Elf. Remand, sure. Joke's on you. Night's Whisper. Phew. What is our best draw? Because I hope we draw it. Scavenging Ooze probably wasn't it. Let's go Wall of Roots. Library. I think I'm going to hold the Ooze in my hand for now. To discard to the Endurance, or to exile to the Endurance if we need to eat their graveyard. Yeah, they did have Wrath. So be it. Good news is we have the Sylvan Library online. Ooh, an untapped red source here would be nuts. Wow! The perfects. This might still be very, very hard for them to beat. What a hit. Yeah. Perfect draws, basically. Repeal the token! No! There goes Boo. Oh man, they had Downfall for Minsk as well. Okay, they had good answers. Wow. Good stuff. So I have to be a little bit careful about how much life I pay because they do have the Tar Pit. But we do just keep ripping some fantastic cards off the top. Another Planeswalker that makes a hasty creature. Kind of nice. Snapcaster Mage. I'm guessing they do Hero's Downfall, though. And kill the Nissa. Yeah, that's fine. We're still left... Oh, wait a minute. I can Endurance in response. Okay. There we go. There we go, there we go. We found a use for it. I mean, it would have been nice for them to spend 3 mana to kill Nissa and almost tap out, but presumably now Nissa's not going to die. Maybe they just animate Tar Pit and attack. Or maybe they leave back Tar Pit as a blocker. Alright, pass. Primeval Titan's pretty good, so we can put both of those back on top because we don't want to draw either of them. 2. I have to be careful about untapping too many, or because if they have another Wrath and they blow up all my forests, that's pretty awkward. But I guess this is fine. Nice, did resolve, so we're gonna go grab Cradle plus Raging, I guess. Use the one floating to eat a creature, make our ooze bigger. And because the forests have vigilance, we can even keep pumping the ooze after attacking. Sure. So they can eat one of my forests this way. They do have to chump the ooze, though. With Snapcaster. Oh, maybe not. 1, 2, 3. I can hit him for 6 with the ooze. Yeah, there they go. All right. So Primetime's lethal on its own. Scooz is lethal on its own. Missa 2 Forest is lethal. We seem to be in a good spot. They still have no idea why I'm playing blue sources. Alright, Teferi is annoying, but still not good enough. That is just a chumper. They're actually dead on board here. So they need a 1-mana removal spell or something. Because now we just go Forest, tap, untap, Raging, send everything at their face. 4 creatures with minimum 3 power versus your 2 blockers. Excuse me. Okay. So Esper control. Sundering Titan could be okay versus them. I don't need to make too much sideboarding, though, I don't feel like. Yeah, I think we're pretty happy just running it back. That Minskin off the top with the Taiga was so nice. But we did draw a bunch of extra cards with Library. I mean, how many cards did I draw over? 3 or 4, right? Because we did gain a bunch of life with the ooze back, too. The resilience! Yeah, normally a green deck can't fight through that many removal spells and whatnot, but we did a good job. This hand is okay. I mean, I think it's a keep just because with 1 land or another mana dork, we can play a turn 3 Minskin. That is not the mana dork we were looking for. So probably going to grab Taiga with this. And that way, even if they Wrath with Dam again, we'll still have a red source available. Not ideal. Best guess is they're just going to use the clue end of turn. They don't have blue yet, which is nice. So ideally we just draw land. If not, we, I think, go for Augur and hope a land's on top instead of trying to use Reclaimer. Beautiful. All right, got there. Oh, we actually have the 0/1/2, so we can play creatures off the top as well. This is a turn where if they have the dam, it's super annoying because our land is going to be tapped. So if they Wrath here, I won't be able to Minsc and Boo immediately. Nice, but they didn't have it. Okay. Yeah, let's go for it. They might not have Hero's Downfall in their hand then, because if they did, they would, or they should, respond to the trigger of the Boo being made, and I wouldn't get a chance to activate Minsc's ability. I'm not going to attack into a Restoration Angel, though. I don't think we want to do that. Not with Augur of Autumn, that is to say. Resto, Flicker, Thraben, get another clue. Indeed it is. And so even if Resto attacks Minsc and Boo, it doesn't die for a turn at least. Actually, if we find Cradle underneath Sylvan Library, and they don't do anything to the board here, we can Craterhoof and just GG. What was that? Oh, they pathed my, what do you call it? Augur of Autumn. Okay, that's fine. Damn, the Reclaimer, I see. So they cleared the way so that they kill the Minsc and Boo here. Got it. I mean, we still get to attack for 4. And we're hoping they don't have Remand in their hand. Because we did see that last game, right? Damn, they do. Okay. Yep. The other option was to try to play out like Arbor Elf and Skoos and whatnot, but I think it was better to go for Titan. Uh-oh, they're tapping way too quickly. Oh, Scarab God, that's not too bad. We have Ooze, they don't have anything in the graveyard right now. So let's grab Cradle, Ravine. Yeah, I think we're sitting pretty good. I mean, there's Reclaimer in the graveyard, but that's kind of irrelevant. Maybe Snapcaster. Nope, sack the clue. Perfect. Okay. I'm hoping they tap out for some random garbage. Bob's fine. Pretty happy with that tap out. Well, not tap out, but... So, barring another counter, we are just going to win here, because we get to dump out a bunch of 1-mana creatures, which are effectively free. Let's see. Even get to play out the Ooze here. 6, 7, 8... Cradle is so disgusting. Oh. I didn't realize they said something else. You will see yourself on the tubes. I'd say it's decent. Yeah, that's what I was saying during game one. That the Sylvan Library drew us out of the Wrath and whatnot. All right, 2-0 now. How much damage was the hoof going to be there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that would have been 7, 14, 21, 31, 36. Because the hoof doesn't give the other creatures trample, or rather haste, and the Caryatid can't attack. So, plenty. All right, 2-0. Let's go to round 3. And to the third and final round of the Vintage Cube Draft with our green Rampy deck. 6 lands and an Augur of Autumn is not a hand I think you can keep. Let's mulligan down to 6. This is a good 6, but man, do we need to draw an untapped land here. Otherwise, I have to go Raging... Well, I know, this is still a good hand even with the tap lands. But Forest off the top would be ideal. Oh, just a turn 1 Ancestral from my opponent. No big deal. Into like a Ponder or something? Sheesh. That is some card draw. Blue-white again. I guess the Ancestral wasn't so bad since they did have to discard 1 card. So let's go with Tree Speaker, Cradle, Hierarch. Gonna need to find some blue sources here. Because if we can resolve opposition versus them, we should probably be in a good shape. It's awkward having both Behemoth and Terastodon in the hand. Drawing the Terastodon there was really bad. Maybe they just play like a Signet. Please. Oh, they're gonna balance? Ugh. So they do have to discard 3 cards, but because I'm missing lands, this is really bad for us. Yeah, these... Drawing that Terastodon was so brutal. Image, Batterskull, Lauren. Okay. Well, what can you do? Had we just drawn like land instead of 8-drop, 4-drop, we'd be in a fine spot. That's fine if they bounce the Ravine. Wasn't doing anything with it anyways. Oh, they have an opposition. Wait, what? They're blue? Okay. Was not expecting that. They can animate their factory too and use it to tap down. So I guess they're a lot more creature-based than I was expecting. So animate factory. Oh, they're clicking on upkeep. Oh, I should have conceded in response. I shouldn't have let them see my hand. Whoops, that was a mistake. Okay, so blue-white, more like tempo. Yeah, once again, we don't really have a sideboard. I guess I could bring in Knight of Autumn for exactly... opposition, but that's a little bit awkward, because presumably if they've resolved the opposition, we're going to be hard-pressed to get underneath it. But we'll be on the play here. Man, again, a really awkward hand. We keep getting all of our fatties in our opener. Turn 1 Hierarch, turn 2 Ooze. I guess if we draw a land for Toski on turn 3, that makes this hand somewhat reasonable, but this draw is also not very good, I think. I don't know, maybe I should be mulliganing a hand that has both Primetime and Behemoth with it in it. And if we just rip Terastodon off the top, this is so gross. But we have a lot of bad draws, I guess. Upheaval would be bad right now. Opposition would actually be pretty bad. Forest is actively good. play first so we don't play into a mana tithe. Attack for 1. Can't really afford to play around balance, so if they do have balance, they're just going to get us. Can't counter. That doesn't work, my friend. That's a Toski. Take 3 and draw a card. Whoa, didn't mean to do that. Nissa would be a good draw, because even if they do have balance, we can keep animating the lands. And that is a balance right there. Indeed. Okay. So there are 2 ways to play this. If I attack now, they get to wipe my board. But I get to draw at least 2 cards. Oh, I guess, no, the Toski has to attack. Never mind. So they would guarantee get to block anyways. Yeah, disregard. Let's go ahead and eat their Spellseeker. Might as well eat their Mana Tithe. Yeah, we're still looking very good here, obviously. Nissa gonna do Nissa things. Let's go grab Headquarters. Actually, yeah, Blue and Misty. Because then with Misty, we can also go grab Taiga if we want. But next turn, if they don't do anything dramatic, we just get to hoof and win anyways. Even, yeah, I mean, you can draw a bunch of cards, but that's not going to do much if you're dead, right? I probably should have grabbed Raging Ravine still, because I had carry added. That was probably a small mistake. Doesn't seem like it's going to ultimately matter, but... okay, I can tap down one thing. That's not going to matter. Let's see. Do I even need to show them Minskin Boo? I don't think I do. If we just hoof, that should be lethal. Yep. Okay. On to game 3 of the finals. Balance is the scariest card from our opponents. Let's hope to get a very nice opener. Although the thing is, any of our very nice openers can get extremely ruined by balance. So what we're going to want is like 1 or 2 of our mana sources plus a Planeswalker. Or maybe we can return opposition them early on. You know what we haven't gotten to do yet? We haven't gotten to natural order anybody either. Knight of the Reliquary, Slaver, Titan. Yeah, I don't think any of these cards make sense to bring in. There's no way I can turn 2 any of these, right? Not even with Cradle, no. Turn 1 Mana Dork, turn 2 Cradle, it's only 3. Okay, on to the 3rd and final game here of the 3rd and final round. This is not a great hand, but it's okay. It's got turn 2 Wall of Roots into a potential natural order with all of our fatties still in the deck. Wall of Roots into a Toski is also not a bad line, but depending on what they do, we might just go like Wall of Roots natural order for Terastodon and blow up a bunch of lands. Come on, 1 drop. They're using the top on upkeep, which means they might be looking for lands. Alright. No mana tithe available. Yeah, Ancestral every game is kind of gross, but drawing a 1-drop is not bad when you have all the roots. No balance, please. Because they have balance, it's probably just going to be best to grab Natural Order for Terastodon. Would be my thought. Oh, they have a Soul Ring too? Man. So that can grab their Spellseeker. Spellseeker can go grab Solitude. I don't care if they Solitude one of these. Yeah, I feel like we're just gonna Natural Order here. Consider in response. So, I want to grab Prime Time, but that is so weak versus balance. I think we're supposed to go like this. Because they can just Solitude my Terastodon, so I need to at least give myself one elephant. So we'll go for the Toski now. Just attack with Terastodon, and they had Path. Okay. Fair enough. Sower of Temptation, my Toski. So now we trade, they get one card. Yeah, we're pretty dead here. We're gonna need to draw Upheaval. And that is not an Upheaval. Now they're gonna Solitude Polychronos, keep drawing a bunch of cards. Not good. Not good. Upheaval is our one out. So let's just draw Upheaval. Because they're about to draw Infinite. Come on. That is also not an Upheaval. Probably dead, but once again, Upheaval is still a possibility. I won't give up yet. The opponent only has 8 cards in their hand, winning on board. I refuse. Don't know why they didn't attack with that. That was free. All right, 10 cards in their hand. Maybe they have opposition. Oh, there's passing? Okay, I have to be dead. They're gonna click me. That's what's happening here. GG's. Yeah, we got absolutely demolished there. I don't know. I think Terastodon was the right play, but I guess if we had grabbed Prime Time and... Well, no, Prime Time would have just grabbed lands. Terastodon had to be right. Like, we blew up Soul Ring and Island, and they still just found a bunch of cards anyways, so... Good beats. We finally got to Natural Order, and the one time we did, we lost the match, but I think our deck was pretty good. All-Stars. We had a bunch of All-Stars. We never did get to opposition, but Upheaval was fantastic. Minsk and Boo was great. Nissa was good. Did get to Craterhoof once, at least. Just a nice little mono green. Well, sorry. green ramp deck here in the Vintage Cube to change things up. Hopefully y'all enjoy. I know still a lot of people wishing we went back to the Arena streets, but like I said, there's not much to do on Arena currently, so bear with me as we cube it up on Magic Online. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow, you know, for the daily tubes. Bye-bye.